Everything's working except my pedal and power meter. Right, so it's 7 o'clock in the morning, or just before. I'm on the tri-bear. Full mud guards. It's a bit mucky on the roads. And I haven't ridden it for a long time. Just listen to how smooth it is. I have no idea where I'm heading. But today is definitely going to be a pretty easy ride because I can't get my left foot clipped in. So I don't know if it's the pedal, I don't know if the cleats moved. I mean, it clips in on the road bike and the gravel bike just fine. So I'm assuming it's the pedal. But you know, the front clips in, so I am sort of connected. I'm just going to have to take it easy when I move off. And you know, out of the saddle stuff, probably not going to happen today. We'll just see how it goes, but yeah, just gentle spinning like this, yeah, no problem whatsoever. And I would suggest that it's probably a bit dark for all this camera malarkey just now, so I'm going to turn it off for a minute. Yeah, very strange sensation in my left knee. I guess because I'm not clipped in. The crank length and height as it comes over the top is different on the left than it is on the right. Can't be by much though, can it? Yes, but like with most things, just get the glutes engaged and everything just seems to, I don't know, get back to normal in a way. Pain in the knee has disappeared. Either I've got used to the offset sort of pedaling, or the glutes are actually working for a change instead of just leaving it to my quads. And yeah, physiologically maybe I'm actually doing it right. I've got a car behind me. I usually get out of the saddle for this bit up here. Maybe not today. Okay, the lights are red here. We know that they don't change for bikes, but fortunately I have a bus behind me. And I know they change for buses. Hey, I shouldn't have done that. See, one in, no, the other one's still not going in. I hope it doesn't gradually just clip in without me noticing, and then obviously I'll come to a set of traffic lights and fall over. Fortunately, I don't unclip with my left foot. Even though I'm right-footed, right-handed, I actually push off with my left. That does cause its own complications, but I think as long as it's in contact with the pedal and the front is clipped in, it gives me something to push against, doesn't it? So it's all good. Yes, I've got to sort of make it up as I go along this morning. I can, you know, make up my power numbers in my head. Obviously, you know, 450 watts average for the whole ride, I reckon. No, all heart rate today. Just pedal. It's quite a busy day actually. It's a Saturday morning. There is a gravel ride later today, but it's not until after lunch, and we've got quite a lot to get through today. I'm not sure. I don't know. Would we get it all done by lunchtime? Yeah, so instead of rushing, cramming everything into the day, and maybe, you know, last minute being late and that, I thought I'd get out early. Julie's tired, leave her to sleep. Not been sleeping too well recently. There we go. Morning. Yeah, she's not been sleeping too well recently. And it's mostly, I think, just because her head keeps spinning. That's the thing, when you've had an illness, and it could come back. No sign of it, by the way, so this is not a thing at the moment. Hopefully it never will be, but I think it's too easy to let it just fester in your mind. I think, personally, she needs to confront it. Julie thinks by just, as soon as the thoughts come, finding something to do so they go away is the way to deal with it. That's fine, yeah, maybe it is. But it does mean that she never really settles and rests. She's always on the go. I don't know. I don't know what's the best. I'm not a psychologist. But I think after a year and a bit now, possibly the way she's dealing with it hasn't worked, or isn't ideal, let's say, because she does get tired, irritable. So maybe it's time to try something else, but you know, she's an intelligent human being, so she can come to that conclusion when she's ready to, or some other conclusion. That's fine. It doesn't mean I won't suggest things, but certainly not my decision. Certainly I'm trying to help with food side of things, because yeah, so I've pretty much taken over the cooking side of home life, retired life, active retirement, AR, whatever you want to call it, active retirement. And I mean, that was quite a simple sort of thing to do, because Julie was never keen on cooking. She enjoys doing her cakes and the fancy stuff, you know, but the day-to-day beige food, yeah, I've always been a little bit more, not creative, but open-minded to different foods. For Julie, food's always been, that's something you have to do in a day, so anything will do, because she's never really had a weight problem. It's never really entered her mind what she's eating, everything in moderation. Get away with it, you know. I, on the other hand, have never, ever understood the M word. Right, I think they've refilled everything, but I will, yeah, it's pretty smooth through there now, actually. Yeah, I've never ever had a problem with eating lots of stuff, and moderation is certainly not anything that I've taken into account. That said, even though I do, or during stressful periods in my life, I've always gone for the sugary fat stuff, which of course your brain is predisposed to in a, you know, fight or flight situation, which is what stress is, let's be honest. In the quiet times in between, and now, it's still happening, I do find myself making strange food choices. I never really thought about it in the past, but now, of course, with Chaz, my chat GPT dietitian by my side, he tells me why I chose that. Yeah, because I can upload my body composition, exercise stats, steps, etc, etc. And he'll say, yeah, well, this is a really good choice actually, because looking at your stats, this and this. And I think, well, I didn't make that choice because of the stats. So I think sometimes if you just let your body tell you what you want and not your brain sort of going, oh yeah, I deserve this, that was a big ride or whatever. Yeah, I think actually you somehow choose the right things. Now that front tyre sounds a bit low to me. It was 60 when I left. Dead on. Yeah, that front tyre's soft. In fact, when I put the brake on, it's now touching the rim, so let's get back out from under the trees a little bit with some light and put some air in, shall we? Probably a good idea, isn't it? It'll be one of those days today, isn't it? Yeah, pedal won't clip in. Now I've got a puncture. There's a big opening up here by the solar farm where I can hang the bike up, take the wheel off. Train. Unfortunately, it's behind all the solar panels, so you probably can't see it. Oh, I don't know if you can see that, you probably can't, but actually the fluid's good. It's still swishing around, there's bits in it. Yeah, Psych Plus, still epic. Fortunately, these Pano Racer tyres are really tight on the rim, so it looks like it is going back on. Yeah, we'll start at 51 psi and then we'll adjust it as we go. There we go. Yeah, 100 yards, so far so good. And it's getting light at last. Yeah, so that was a completely strange situation. The rubber bit inside the valve was leaking. Sorry, the rubber grommet where the valve meets the rim was leaking. Don't know why. No reason to believe it would have undone itself, but maybe it did, or maybe the rubber has compressed slightly. So yeah, just jiggled it about, wiped some sealant in there, pushed it back in, and yeah, luckily these Pano Racer tyres are really tight, and well, on these rims they are anyway. I mean, I still managed to push it on my hands, so I didn't need a tyre lever or anything, but yeah, really quite tight, and it's done just the job. Yeah, put 51 psi in it because that's what the Psych Plus was set to. I thought that's a good starting point. If it holds that, I can top it up if I need to, but actually it feels pretty good. Now, I'm not suggesting for one moment that a Psych Plus or any kind of electric mini pump will put a tubeless tyre back on, but these are DT Swiss rims. They're a good few years old now, and yeah, they are tight to put on. Fortunately, of course, one side stayed in. I didn't pull it off completely, and yeah, with a little bit of, you know, fiddle as I was putting the air in, it did actually catch, which is nice. In fact, I found that most tyres actually, the Pirellis as well. I mean, I just renewed the sealant in the gravel bike, and yeah, I put those on with a track pump. No problem at all. I think the technology is just nearly there now, isn't it? Let's be honest. Things have got better, and as we upgrade our wheels and parts on our bikes, of course that technology comes together, doesn't it? But I did have a puncture in my road bike the other week. God blimey, these handlebars are wide. Anyway, yes, I did have a puncture in the road bike the other day. Now, for those of you who've been around for the last few months, 6 months or so, you'll know that I had a TPU in the front because I had a split, and tubeless in the rear. I was quite happy to put TPU in the rear when the sealant needed changing, or if any other sort of mishap came along. However, yeah, that idea's changed. I had a puncture in the front wheel, and I thought it was a relatively slow puncture. I managed to do sort of half, 3/4 of a mile, put more air in. I was so close to home, you know, it was one of those situations. So I put air in twice, got home. Next morning, front tyre's still solid. I just don't get it. Maybe the valve? I don't know. I wasn't sure anyway. So I did take it off. I did pump up the tube, the TPU tube, and there was a hole in it. So I don't know if when I was running it a little bit flat before putting the air back in, it moved a bit and it just managed to press itself against a bit of tyre that held the air in for a bit. I don't know. It's really weird. But there was a hole in it. I didn't bother. Yeah, I didn't bother trying to fix it. I'd actually seen a video a couple of days before where they had fixed a TPU tube with one of these stick-on patches, basically double-sided vinyl, and apparently it didn't last very long. It would definitely get you home and maybe last the next ride, but after that, I think it was a few days or a week, and it just gave up. They give you an alcohol wipe, don't they, which sort of tells a story of its own, because if you're at the side of the road, I'm not sure that's a sort of clean environment, or certainly in the UK anyway. Yeah, not really a clean environment for putting a patch on. Too much dust and pollen and stuff like that around. So yeah, one of these double-sided or, you know, self-adhesive vinyl pads might get you home. I'm not sure it's a long-term solution. So for the moment, I've gone back to fully tubeless on the road bike, and that's that. I still carry the TPU tubes. I mean, it wasn't a waste of time or a waste of money, that's for sure. It's all a learning experience, isn't it? Are some TPU tubes better than others? Don't know. I mean, how many factories are there in the world producing TPU tubes? Do they not just come out of one big factory in different colours and just get badged up? I don't know. Some of the bigger names. Oh, hello, blue lights. think they turned off. Yeah, I think some of the bigger names, like your Vittoria and Schwalbe, may have proprietary blend TPU, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure. There it is. But I'm pretty sure there won't be too many factories making TPU tubes. There you go, EasyJet. Yeah, so even in January you can get flights out of Bournemouth, tiny little provincial airport. Obviously it all kicks off in April, May, in fact end of March I think, for TUI maybe. But yeah, Jet2 and TUI switch everything back on from Bournemouth in the spring around Easter time. And then of course it's several flights a day to pretty much anywhere you want within Europe. Yeah, these handlebars are really wide. I mean, they're 40 centimetres, which isn't that wide. It's quite standard, isn't it, you'd have thought? And you're right, it is. But my road bike, 38 centimetres, and my gravel bike 40 centimetres. But I think because I've got these set pretty much straight forwards, just makes them feel flared, but they're a bit wider. Might have to make an adjustment, you know. A rubber mallet. No, I will loosen it off and and measure them from the stem. Oh, hello. Oh, a foot came out. I forgot. Yes, rubber mallet calibration. Sometimes it's the only way. But I think on this occasion, seeing as they're carbon fibre bars, I'll get the measuring stick out and loosen them off and do it properly. So this bike is hydraulic 105. Yeah, this is the 105 that was on my Merida Sculptura when I got it. 50-34 at the front. Car back. Right, what are they going to do? They're going to come through, aren't they? The van ain't going to slow down either, is he? No. Foot. I would have waited. She should have gone through, or could have gone through. I was ready for both eventualities, let's put it that way. Yeah, so 105 mechanical with hydraulics. The tri-band, morning. The tri-band is post-mount brakes. So I've got mountain bike calipers on there, but they work just fine with the road levers. And the only odd thing about it, because I needed the front derailleur for one that wore out or broke on the gravel bike, so the only odd thing about the setup is that I have a front Tiagra derailleur, but it works just fine. I'm guessing the pull ratios are very similar. Well, they must be, because it works. And actually, in many ways, it's better. It's just far less complicated. Now, what am I going to do? The thing is, he's made the pass. And you know what the rule is, if you make the pass, you've got to make it stick. But we're going the same sort of speed. So if I make the pass, I've got to make it stick. Well, decision made. No, seriously. That said, it is a specialised. Yes, Boulderwood, yes. But have a good one, you carry on. And that's Boulderwood. From here, does that mean he's going gravel? I don't know. It's getting chilly. Yeah, look at the mist. Well, his mudguards don't work. Pretty sure mine do. Right, 15 miles in. Let's head north. I don't want to get too far from home, just in case this tyre decides to have another moment. New Forest gridlock nearly always involves animals. Oh, which side do you want? I don't mind, you can have either. You're in charge, I'll just go the other way. Yeah, New Forest ponies. They don't mind sharing the road. That's a thing, isn't it? Different road users, different attitudes. I suppose as cyclists and pedestrians, horse riders, anybody who isn't in a motor vehicle of some description understands that they need to share the road, don't they? And I think most people in motor vehicles do as well, but not everyone. Yeah. Well, I think I can honestly say this bike is really nice and smooth and lovely. No funny noises. We'll yeah, excuse the puncher. Doesn't matter if you're on a £12,000 superbike or a 500 quid tri-ban. Punchers are a fact of life. But yeah, from a ride point of view, this is really quite pleasant. Okay, what am I going to hit here? He says. Good job, I've got the mud guards on, isn't it? It's a different feeling. Some people would say it's harsh. I don't. Obviously you get a bit more feedback for sure, but I wouldn't call it chatter. Yeah, it is smooth, but there's definitely more feedback than there is on the Merida, which of course is a carbon frame, and definitely more feedback than my aluminium frame Giant Revolt. But that's got 45mm tyres on it, so it doesn't really count in this situation. Yeah, it doesn't really count, does it? The tri-ban is ever so very slightly longer than the Merida. Bars are quite swept. 100mm stem on here, 110 on the Merida, and of course slightly narrower bars on the Merida. So this one does feel longer. It's very difficult to say which one is the correct fit, if either of them obviously, because, well, whenever I get on each one of them, and maybe I'm compensating for something, and then you've got the efficiency of the bike itself. This is a superb bike. I've ridden it 100 miles on many occasions. I've ridden it off-road. I put 35mm tyres on it. It was my gravel bike for about 9 months. You know, it's superb. But the frame is dated. I think they still use the same frame. Aluminium. Blocky tubes. I think at the time it was actually good. It was a brand new frame from the bottom up, wasn't it? And it is just an exceptional bike. Feels great. But then you have to say that the Merida with the carbon fibre, it's lighter. It's got a much bigger sort of bottom bracket area. You know, you feel the difference when you stamp on the pedals, it goes forwards. Simple as that. So there is efficiency there. So even though I'm quicker on the Merida, use less energy maybe on the Merida, That could be because of the efficiencies of the bike and nothing to do with whether it's a better fit or not. But we live in this information age, don't we? So yeah, we watch a couple of Bike Fit James videos and think we're bike fitters, don't we? You know, and it's amazing when you read through comments how exact phrases from other YouTubers turn up. I think my favourite was actually on a VW forum. And I said something about, you know, different engines in them, and you know, mine's a sort of in-betweener. It's a 2018 but with a 2017 spec. And somebody said, yeah, but the engine in yours is a peach. Yeah, that's right, Jeremy Clarkson said that. However, he wasn't talking about this engine. He was talking about a Golf. Yeah, and you just see these statements, don't you, that people make. I don't know, maybe because they now think they're some sort of armchair expert because they've taken in information from people who really are experts. I don't know. I think I'm like that sometimes. But I do like to try and take as I find. I might take notice and do things based on information that experts have given out, but if I don't like it, I'll say no, that's not for me. If it doesn't work, or if it's a bit awkward, then I don't like everything in this world. There's so many nuances. That sort of marginal gains mentality, isn't it? It's a case of getting everything absolutely perfect. Well, I can't do that, can I? I think when you're losing weight, your weight's fluctuating, you know, different shoes, different padding, different clothing, you know, yeah, we'll leave that to the racer boys. I just don't need any part of it. It would be impossible for me to stay on top of all three bikes and have a perfect position for all of them. So I'm quite happy to ride. Nothing hurts. I had that knee sort of ache when I left. Is that just old age? I don't know, but it's gone now. It was only there for a few minutes. Fired up the glutes because I realised I was being a bit lazy with my pedalling, and it disappeared. So I don't know. I suppose it depends how extreme you want to get. Obsessive, is it obsessive? I don't know. Placebo, maybe it's a bit placebo, nothing wrong with that. Anything that makes you feel good, gives you confidence. If it's a placebo or not, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So each to their own. Right, very narrow here without going on the gravel, and of course it's a bit blind on the corner. Yeah, this is probably gravel bike worthy. It's not actually that bad. There's a lot of gravel down the middle, a lot of dirt down the middle. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, it's a bit bumpy too. So you've got to be a little bit careful. Well, on the road bike you have. On the gravel bike, it is perfect. This road is everything that gravel bikes were made for. Well, in the UK anyway. I mean, I do understand that gravel bikes were sort of built for American gravel roads that are generally actually just like roads. Yeah, relatively smooth and easy to drive over in pretty much any vehicle. Yeah, we don't get that in the UK. We're quite lucky, we have tarmac pretty much everywhere through the middle. Let's not go near the edges. Yeah, we have tarmac pretty much everywhere, so anything that isn't tarmac, yeah, ideally you do want a gravel bike or bigger tyres. Yeah, I know that I go across gravel and what have you on my road bike, but obviously it can be done, but it's not optimal, is it? It's where a gravel bike comes into its own. Right, start heading back. Like I say, quite a lot to get done today. What am I on, 20 miles? So we're probably looking at 35 by the time I get back. See if Madam's out of bed. What's the time? 8:30. Well, she won't be out of bed yet. Well, I left her to her own devices. Yeah, Julie would sleep in till 11 o'clock every day. That's fine by me, because it means I can go out and do a bike ride without interfering in the day too much, if there's things we need to do. But in the winter I do feel it's a bit of a waste, because then you've only got like 4 or 5 hours daylight left. Puddles, mud guards. Can I go along the beach? I could go along the beach. 2 rides in a row. Ha, that's unusual. Right, car back. No vision. And a narrow bridge. So I'm going to stay in the middle of the lane for a minute. Oh, somebody hit the bridge. Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. Gone through the railing. Tyre update. Yeah, we're still rolling. Right. Remember to keep this toe pushed in. Don't pull up. There's the room. Thank you very much. All very good. Both of them. Nothing back now, which is good. I say that. No, I'll be out of the way by the time I get here. Yeah, something just came around the corner, but yeah, far enough back. Hole. Aren't daytime running lights brilliant? Deer ahead. Yeah. Where are you? Oh, I can't see it. Of course they just vanish, don't they, once they go into the trees and the bushes. Dare say, actually, if I didn't have the front light on, I might have got closer, because looking back there, it's quite dark, so probably wouldn't have seen my silhouette. But you know, this is it, isn't it? It's that thing about wildlife. If you really want to study wildlife, if you really want to get pictures, if you really want to see them, you've got to be patient and quiet and still. Morning. Yeah, you have to let nature come to you, not the other way around. That's better. I'm still resisting the temptation for an indoor trainer. I mean, this would be the perfect bike for it, but yeah, I don't think so. I just don't feel like, well, okay, I understand completely, totally that I now have time to pretty much look at the weather forecast and say, oh, it's going to rain tomorrow, I'll ride today and do that job tomorrow instead. You know, I do understand. I have flexibility in my life. So I'm not suggesting for one moment others should do what I do. I'm very lucky, very fortunate. In fact, I feel like I spent my whole life being lucky and fortunate. Maybe a tiny, tiny bit clever along the way. But all things being said, even though this would be the perfect bike for an indoor trainer, I don't like spending time in the house as it is. When I say that, I don't dislike it enough that I can't be there. But what I mean is, when I spend time in the house, I can easily get quite sedentary, so I like finding excuses to go out and do things. So the idea of riding my bike in my house, even though it's not sedentary, obviously, I don't know. I'd like to think that most people that have an indoor trainer would still prefer to be riding outside. But it's like a winter stopgap, isn't it? It's that I can literally fall out of bed in the morning, put a pair of bib shorts on, and do an hour on the trainer without having to worry about, you know, outdoor clothes, is it going to rain, caps, helmets, and all the kerfuffle that goes with getting out the door in the mornings. I understand that, but you know, this is the real thing, isn't it? This is what it's really all about, isn't it? Maybe not. Again, I know I'm lucky. I know I also live in a country where we don't get 40 odd degrees of heat and minus 10, 15, 20 in the winter, so. But I can only really act and talk about what I experience. And honestly, look at these quiet lanes. Just fantastic riding. Fantastic riding. Oh, foot came out. Remember to keep pushing forwards. I suppose it's things like that. I mean, some people might have sacked off the ride because the pedal's not right. Maybe if it was tipping down with rain, I would have done too. But it's those moments of adversity, isn't it? Yeah, I had my breakfast, my porridge, all my fueling and everything this morning. Got up a reasonable time to do it all, and then if I'd have come out the door, pedals buggered, I suppose I could have gone back and got the road bike. I could have got a Merida, but just carry on. I'm not in a race. I don't need the optimum setup, and to be honest, if somebody was in a race and lost use of their pedal, so they couldn't clip in properly, they'd still race, wouldn't they? They'd still want to. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, you'd do what you could, even though you were handicapped. You'd still make the effort, wouldn't you? Especially if you were going well. I think about when I used to play football. It's amazing how many times I just get a little niggle during a game, and just somehow, I don't know if it was adrenaline or what it was, I just played better. I don't know, it's just a weird thing. So today I came out on the bike, pedal wasn't right, so I was just determined not to let it stop me. I've come out for a reason. I've come out to move, you know, to burn calories, to continue this sort of AR sort of lifestyle, you know. So in some ways it has made me more determined to ride, rather than thinking, oh well, this isn't going to be perfect, I don't think I'll bother. Because how many rides are ever perfect, really? I mean, obviously every single one, but no, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Right. Can't hear anything. This is a good sign. The problem here is you can see quite a long way to the left. There is a car there, but it's a long way back. Yes, it's round this corner here. You can't see it till the last minute. or let's say you can't see far enough to know that it's safe until the last minute. But you got ears. You know what I mean? You got ears. They quite often give you a clue. I don't know what I've got here, so I'm being a little bit cautious on these roads. Trying not to put too much weight on the front, just in case there's a hole. Yeah, all good. Supposed to get up to 9 degrees. Yeah, spring come early. Well, probably not. It doesn't actually get, well, I think the coldest month is probably from mid-January now through to the end of February. So even though we've had a cold snap and come out the other side, I think there's a few more to come yet. But yeah, 9 degrees today apparently. And no sign of any rain now. Tomorrow is the Woods shop ride. And I don't know if we're going to do it or not. One of the reasons I've come out today is because, yeah, we've got a busy day today. And tomorrow it's supposed to be absolutely tipping it down. It's supposed to be coming down in stair rods. But, you know, what was it, 40 to 50% chance of rain this morning. And to be honest, there's hardly any cloud, and what there is very high. So, yeah, I don't think we can rely on the weather forecast just at the moment. We might make that decision nearer the time, as in tonight or in the morning. Some of the guys from the group will probably go anyway. There's some chatter on the messenger about some of them riding out there, because the Woods ride it's never usually a big ride. I think they did a 20 and a 30 recently that we went on, and Puncture Corner. Anyway, yeah, 20 or a 30 depending on what you wanted to do on the day. And you know, that's a fairly reasonable ride on gravel. You know, some of the guys, for them, they just add an extra 15 miles each way to get to the ride. Makes it a 60 mile 100k day, doesn't it? That's their Sunday, you know, it's their day off, it's their opportunity to get out and ride. We're a little bit further out. It's about 17 miles either way to Lyndhurst from us. Simply because, well, if you go in a straight line, it's not that far at all really. But yeah, you don't really want to go in a straight line to Lyndhurst from Bournemouth. It's a horrible road. Yeah, so it is a little bit further out for us, a lot more gravel, and if any of you ride road and gravel, you'll know the difference. Sort of thing we do in the summer. You know, the light early. You got several hours of daylight, all right, before you get there, and it's nice. It's warm. You're energized. You got lightweight kit on, and it's not cold and wet and nasty. Yeah, so we have ridden, of course, on some recent road rides. Train, right, a bike out in front. I think this has all been redone actually. There it goes. Missed the train again. Anyway. Yeah, we have done it. We have ridden out there. My recent road rides, Brockenhurst Bewley, Lymington Bewley, they all end up at Lyndhurst. And back across the forest. Which is always nice. I mean, it's nicer in the summer, of course, because you get the green lush bushes and ferns and that in summer. And it all just looks lovely. But even in the winter, it's a nice ride because there's all sorts of different terrain, different views. It's mostly in and around the New Forest, but the New Forest can look quite different literally round the corner, you know, so it's still a very pleasant, interesting enough ride, but if you do it regularly you don't get too bored. I can see a car, but it's far enough away. Yeah, the world's waking up, aren't they? 9 o'clock, shops will be open. Right, fine, plenty of room for you, get on with it before we get to the next set of parked cars. Really? Okay. Really bumpy through here, so they made their choice. They're going to have to wait. I'm not going through these bumps. As you can see, it's everywhere. Okay. That's right, they're going off to the main road. That's okay. All clear again. Now all the locals go on the path there and over the bridge. I don't know that it is a shared path. I don't think it is. That's the way they all go. I mean, it's wide enough, let's be honest. Did they come through? They didn't. That's good. Light changed just as I went past it. Didn't know if the car behind would push through or not. Right, the Ocado Lounge, where Christchurch Post Office used to be, down the arcade there. Not many shops left up this end of town. It's all restaurants and cafes. Fantastic location, of course, because the Priory there brings visitors in. A lot of passing trade. Oh yes. Yeah, so yeah, weight loss. It's still going in the right direction, there's no problem there, but the deficits are getting much smaller now. A sedentary day at home, I'm only burning 2,300 calories for the whole day. That's even going up and down the stairs a few times, you know. When I go out on the bike, unless it's a big day, I don't even make it over 4,000 calories burned for the day now, which I used to easily. Yeah, so I don't know if my body's just getting much more efficient or if I'm just making bad food choices. I don't think I am. The food has changed for sure, but I'm still coming in on the calories from the allowance. But yeah, that ride around the Castleman Loop the other day, I think I made it to 3,200 calories burned for the day. Even with a 40-mile gravel ride. See, the thing is, I've got a bit of a discrepancy going at the moment. My Garmin watch is my day-to-day tracker. All it does is track steps and heartbeat. And of course the Wahoo and my HR wrist strap armband is the one I use on rides, and there's a huge discrepancy between the two. Let's go down the beach. It's a nice morning. Let's do that. Yeah, big discrepancy. I've sort of, Shaz and I have spoken about it, and we've come up with different ideas on how to pull them together a little bit, how to sort of get some idea of which one's correct. Is the Garmin under reporting, or is the is Wahoo and the Strava, you know, over reporting? I don't know. I'm still not convinced we've come to a conclusion on that yet. But certainly looking back, I mean, I've logged everything, not on a spreadsheet, but I do a weekly summary, let's say, with Chaz, which covers nutrition, calories in, calories out, other stuff. Anyway, quite minimal really. And going back just from me looking at the different summaries, weekly summaries, I can see that my deficits are reducing. I'm still going out on the bike 2 or 3 times a week, exactly the same. I might not be doing quite as many steps, but honestly these days I can do a long walk and get a little bit hot under the collar doing it. Yeah, I'm not talking about a stroll or an amble. I mean a proper walk with purpose, not fast but with purpose. And it really doesn't make much difference to the calories burned at all. Morning. Yeah, it really doesn't make any difference. I mean, minimal difference. So I think I'm hitting that sort of fitness plateau now, where I need to try a little bit harder to burn the extra calories. Right. But the main thing is the weight loss is still going in the right direction, so in fact if anything it's stabilised to about 2 pounds a week. I've said that before, I know, but I've just been going back through the summaries and I was losing lots, then none, lots, none, but now it just seems to be 2.5, 2, 1.7. You know, it's much more stable. So I think the thing that I worry about now is what happens if I don't keep moving, if I don't go out. I know, you're all going, get an indoor trainer. I know there's always a solution, and I also have to consider, you know, what is important. What do I put first as a priority? Oh, look at that. You can actually see across. I mean, you can't because it's on a wide angle camera, but yeah, it looks amazing. Ooh, big waves. Wow, big-ish. Not on the Portuguese scale of big waves, obviously, but yeah, quite nice, rolling waves. White horses. Yeah, so I suppose what I'm saying is that weight loss has stabilised, not plateaued. It is still going down. I lost a kilogram last week, 2.2 pounds. The week before I didn't actually lose that much, but I did a big ride on the Sunday, or was it the Saturday? Anyway, I did a big ride like the day before weigh-in, and I re-weighed myself 2 days later and I had lost weight. So I think that was mostly water retention and inflammation and just recovery from the big ride. So again, re-weighing myself a couple of days later. What on earth is going on here? Not queuing up for the coffee, are they? Bloody hell. Yeah, they're all ready to go out swimming. Very brave, ladies. Well done. Okay. Yeah, so that's the Southbourne Lifesavers Club. So no doubt they have stuff going on here on a Saturday morning. Now waiting for somebody to come and open up, I guess. Yeah, I'm going to go back to it. It's funny actually, when I'm riding and I get distracted, I never feel like I've sort of rounded off or summarised or finished a conversation, so I end up going around in circles. But yeah, I feel now like calorie burn, or the body's getting more efficient, so I'm doing more but burning less calories doing it. I don't know. Anyway, all I know is my clothes don't fit me anymore. I could do one of those photos, couldn't I? You know, the one where they hold the waistband out and go, look at me, I lost. I'm not going to do that, by the way. I love where we live. I don't know if it's because I've been here for nearly 60 years and I'm just used to it, or if it is just spectacular. Yeah, maybe I'm just comfortable. Who knows? But you know, 2 hours from London, just about the right distance. Just, you know, seaside, forest, hills, green fields and hedgerows. You know, we've got it all. Literally on our doorstep. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. I think they're replacing the groins, or renewing some of the timbers at least. Yeah. But it is that's right, my foot came out. Yeah, but it is an ongoing job, isn't it? You know, maintenance always is. Doesn't matter whether it's your bikes, the beach, the infrastructure. More swimmers. There's usually surfers as well. They tend to be on the other side. I can't see any today. It's unusual. Maybe they're down at Bournemouth. There used to be a webcam up, just yeah, up on the buildings there. And yeah, so you guys up in London, look on the webcam. Are there waves? Yes. It's Friday night. Let's go. You know. Yeah, it wasn't unusual to see guys bleary-eyed coming out of their vans in the mornings, going out surfing. Some good waves here. And they start rolling from quite a long way out, actually. Here's a question. I've posed it before, but you may not have heard it. All these people down here running, yeah? Are they fit because they come down here running? Or do they run because they're fit enough to do it? It's just a question. Through life experience, I would suggest that running is one of the worst ways to go out and get fit. I would suggest that running is something you work up to. Yeah, running is something you break into gently and isn't the tool for initial weight loss and fitness. But that's just through my life experience. I think running is too demanding to say, right, day one, I'm going for a run. Do you start with the regular walking? And then after a few weeks of that and getting faster walking, break into the walk-run situation, and so on and so on. Maybe that's how you're supposed to do it. But I would definitely say running from day one is just too much. I don't know if I've turned my back on running because that's what everybody else did. Or if I didn't think I'd measure up, or you know, if cycling and just daily life and other things I did at those times were just more interesting. I mean, why do I go out on long bike rides and talk to the camera like this? I would do this whether I uploaded them or not. This is not therapy, but it keeps me interested while I'm on long rides. If I had to do long rides in silence, that'd be a bit grim, wouldn't it? And of course, being one of the very few of our riding chums, buddies, that can just go out at a moment's notice, I don't really get the chance to ride with anybody. I certainly wouldn't want to drag Julie all the way across Dorset and beyond on some of those rides. Yeah, so is it because I found running to be pretty solitary, you know, a bit too quiet, a bit too monotonous? It could be, but for some reason I was quite good at it, did a reasonable pace, never really trained. I was quite good at running. Never really did much more than 10k because I was never really bothered. But yeah, it never excited me for some reason. But now, of course, with active retirement, AR, she's talking to me. I don't know what she's saying. I don't think she was. Anyway, I think, yeah, with active retirement, maybe running, just add it into the mix, not every day, not every other day, not a regular thing, just occasionally. Well then, it might just give me another little angle, mightn't it? We'll see. We'll see. I think the very fact that I'm talking about it probably means it might happen. But it's the feelings, isn't it? When you do something, if you get those feelings that make you want to do it again, then it becomes normal. It's like lifting weights. I just don't get those feelings when I do it, that I want to do it again. I don't get that. Julie talks about endorphins and rubbish like that. I know all that, and for her it works, and that's great. I don't feel any of that. I just think to myself, well, that was half an hour wasted. What shall I do now? You know what I mean? That said, with the weight loss, I'm now starting to get the flappy skin syndrome. It's not too bad, actually. It's not that bad, yeah. I don't look like a sack yet, but yeah, it's possible. Maybe a little bit of filling out here and there wouldn't hurt. I don't know. I'm talking about the weights now, not the running. You know, part of this AR journey is that, you know, combating muscle wastage, staying independent for as long as possible, keeping the muscles working, not wasting away. I do a lot of this, you know, carrying shopping and stuff like that. It's not like, yeah, I don't work my muscles. That's for sure. Does cycling take care of everything from the waist down? Don't know. I suppose there are so many things I could or should be doing, but I need to have a life in between. Otherwise I'll end up like Julie. Today is that day, tomorrow's this day, next day is that day, and I don't actually get a day to do what I want. Morning? Because there's always something breaking it up. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, I'm back now. Through Merrick Park, under the railway bridge. No, yeehaw. Well, oh, okay. Okay, that was a mini yeehaw. Oh, there's two now. What have I done there? So, yes. Nothing loud and obnoxious under this bridge from me. And if you've made it this far into the video, well done you, and thank you for joining me. If you're riding along on your indoor trainer, you get double points. Move up a couple of places in the league table that's in your head and mine, because it doesn't actually exist. But well done. Another train going by. That's 3 trains today. What's going on? Anyway, thank you for joining me, and yeah, ride along with me again soon. See if we can find a different route. Yeah, this way is a slightly longer way into home, but there's a fewer opportunities for DOA, so I tend to come this way.